Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the new Fenty Beauty complexion products such as the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer and the Setting Powder. So if you guys would like to see that review, then please keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. So to get started with today's video, I'm also going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Foundation as well. I did do an original first impression kind of type of review video if you would like to see that I did, and I'll link it up in the cards for you if you're interested to kind of see on my thoughts of the foundation. This foundation, when it dries down a little bit darker, so it can be a little bit hard to find the correct foundation. But of course, there's so much foundation shades to choose from, so you will eventually find a shade that will be good for you. And also there are new shades for the foundation that came out too. So if you could not find your right shade, maybe you want to check it out now as there are new shades available. So because I have dry skin, I'm going to use a really moisturizing primer, and I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer to just prime my entire face. So I did pick up a new shade, and this shade is in 210. It's light medium for neutral undertones, so it looks really light in the bottle, but it does dry darker. So let's just go ahead and try it. And this is also a soft matte finish. So for the concealer, here it is. It's super cute. It's like a mini version of the foundation. It's so cute, right? It's like a mini-me. And I picked up also the shade 210. I did speak to an employee from Sephora, and they did mention that whatever your foundation shade is in the Fenty Beauty, you should also pick up the exact same number shade in the concealer, because the concealer is already a shade or two lighter than your foundation shade. So I picked up 210 in foundation, then I also got the 210 in concealer. Also, the concealer retails for $26. You can purchase it obviously from Sephora and the FentyBeauty.com website. I'm just going to go ahead and put down my concealer. And this is just how I typically always set it. I typically just set it under my eyes, kind of highlight my nose, and then just on my chin. And honestly, it's supposed to be, I think, a neutral undertone, but it looks a little bit like yellow, like a little bit warm for me. I actually like to typically use something that's a little bit way lighter, because right now I feel like it's gonna probably look exactly like the foundation. But let's go ahead and blend it out. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Sculpting Blending Sponge to kind of blend it out, because that's how I always do it. And the consistency actually feels really thick. Yeah, it feels like sticky, and it feels really thick. Like, it did not, I mean, like, it blended out okay, but it feels like it's very sticky, like it doesn't want to move around. And also the concealer does come in 50 different colored shades, so that is such a big range for a variety of skin tones, which is great. Alright, then to set down my concealer, I'm going to go in with the loose setting powder. This is so beautiful. I love Fenty Beauty, their packaging. I think it looks so luxurious and so beautiful. So the setting powder retails for $32. It comes in 8 different shades, so that's a huge shade range for loose powders. I like that they try to add the stopper, but yet it's not attached. Like, I would think that if you're already going to add the stopper to the sifter, you would make it attached. So from all the different 8 shades of loose powder, I picked up the shade Butter. And what I really like about Fenty Beauty is they even have a recommendation, like if you're wearing a certain foundation shade, like which shade range you should be in. So I'm just gonna use the other side of the e.l.f. blending sponge, the pointy side, to set my under eye. Alright guys, so for first impression, like right after application of all the complexion products like the concealer and the loose setting powder, honestly, for the concealer, just immediately, I'm not very impressed. I feel like it was very thick and it didn't really want to move around. And I can already see like my under eye is creasing. Like my under eye already, like I naturally do crease, you know, that's just inevitable with having fine lines under the eyes. But I feel like it's creasing so much more than it typically does. But yeah, so I don't really, first of all, like the shade of the concealer. I want something a little bit lighter that really truly highlights. I don't feel like this concealer really highlighted. It pretty much just blended into the foundation shade. Um, but for the powder, I think for first impression, I think it's okay. It does definitely look like, it does give me like that smooth effect a little bit, but I just feel like because I already have dry skin and with the dry foundation, with the creasing and kind of dried down concealer, I really don't need to set down on my concealer at all. So I'm back after applying the rest of my face makeup on, and so for my final kind of first impression or review on the Fenty Beauty complexion product. So first of all, let's talk about the concealer. So the concealer, I think although it has such a great shade range, I really don't like the consistency. It's definitely very thick. It's not as creamy. It doesn't glide or blend out as like what I'm used to, what I like. I like something a little bit creamier, like I said, a little bit more blendable, and definitely the shade. I think the shade is not right for me. I like something a little bit lighter. Definitely want something that really highlights under my eyes and kind of down my nose bridge, because that's typically where I set my concealer down to highlight. Now for the loose powder, I think that it's an okay loose powder. If you don't have a loose powder and maybe you want something that's very like good, that you can find a good shade range for, I think that it would be a good loose powder to try out if you are in the market for a loose powder. But other than that, I definitely feel like if you have normal to oily skin, these products or just the Fenty Beauty complexion line would definitely probably work better for you than for people like myself who have dry skin. I would love it if Fenty Beauty came out with maybe some like dewy or satin finish foundation. I'd be super excited for that, because that's definitely something that I'm more gravitating towards, because obviously I have dry skin. But other than that, comment below if you will be purchasing or picking up any of the Fenty Beauty complexion products, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.